Like, are you serious? This is going to be a thing? We're going to have this whole conversation.
Hey,
Everybody, welcome.
I didn't want to stop you. I knew those eyes were going to light up. I'm going to let him go and see how far he goes.
Let me know what light. Like, I need to know what light is best for me. Okay, ready? Is it this? I feel like that's scary. Is it this? I feel like I look like I have jaundice. Is it this?
I feel like this is the eye doctor. For our audio audience, the answer 2. I would go with 2. I've done this many times.
I feel like it looks like I have jaundice.
No.
Okay, is that good?
It feels like you've got multiple colors in your face.
Well,
think about that, audio audience.
Let me tell you about how I paid my way through college. It is Levack and Goz. Somehow we accidentally hit the button a little early. So we're here and we're getting started already. We're here and it's Pride Month. We're here. We're queer. Deal with it.
Yeah.
A friend of mine used to have a shirt that said, "I'm not only out of the closet, I'm in the living room with my feet up." And I used to love bringing him around people that were like homophobic. It was my favorite thing to do because you knew it was going to be just a brawl. Like you knew it was going to be like, "You're gay." And he was like, "Yeah, you probably are too. You just haven't admitted it yet." You know, it was great. I used to love that stuff. Happy Pride, everyone.
Yeah, I'm glad we can do that now. Like that was one of the stories. We didn't have this on the run here, but like the Rays players were protesting. People were going nuts. I'm glad you and I and most sports fans are just like, just do your thing, man. Do your thing, have fun, live life. Like, what are we going to even argue?
I got to be honest, though. I don't care that they didn't want to wear the Pride logo either, though. Like I know we didn't. This wasn't like the plan to start with, but like, I believe true tolerance, which tolerance is such a like. I almost feel like tolerance is an insult too. Like, we need to tolerate everyone. Like I feel like true acceptance, tolerance. You have to tolerate the intolerable. You have to accept the unacceptable. Like the only way you're ever going to educate the people who think people are bad because they do whatever they do, like in a consenting relationship, is through inclusion, not exclusion. Like, and also I want you to say what's in your mind, because not on your mind, in your mind, because like on your mind, you say it. In your mind, I want you to say that because I want to know whether or not I want to be around you.
Dude, like the word tolerate was the perfect like way that some people view it differently, because it's like, you don't even have to. Like, it's just like,
I'm drinking.
Don't talk about
this could get real.
I mean? Right. Like there was Molina, the fighter, came out the other day. It was great. I loved his quote. It was a 2-minute clip that went viral. I think it's Jose Molina is the fighter's name, and it's most popular he's been. He's just like, I'm glad we can swear on the spot. Who gives a shit? Like, who cares?
I don't care.
Nobody gives a shit anymore. Nobody cares.
Just by the way, Tom Gross is like, enough of this. Great coaches show today. Great announcement by Coach Manas. I love getting Tommy in.
I don't know the announcement.
You didn't get the announcement?
I did not get the announcement.
Oh, I guess you should have tuned in to the Coaches Show live from Sea Smoke Waterfront Grill on Starbuck Island.
That place is awesome.
Dude, seriously awesome. Barbecue salmon nachos.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. I didn't get to try it because Brandon Cisse and Cornelius Lewis wanted to try it, and I was like, "You get after it, boys. Have at it." You want to save the announcement? Or you want me to do it right now? I mean, we're having like a nice conversation, but
it's up to you, because if you want to keep it podcast exclusive, you want you can send it there, and I can we can go on to the other Empire stuff.
No, well, you'll get more details on the Coaches Show.
All right,
but no, we've signed Marvin Ross, reigning and defending Defensive Player of the Year for the National Arena League. So we have the reigning and defending Offensive Player in Darius Prince, and now we have the reigning and defending Defensive Player in Marvin Ross.
Oh, I have so many follow-ups. I will wait till the Coaches Show to get it. I will do my homework for the next home game.
Guys, the deal has always been, I have access now, so you have access now. You can ask whatever question you want. These are two completely different shows, Levack and Goz. Now the Saturday show you do, the Goz show where Levack gets to be on it. Pardon me, fuck that show. I'm not giving you shit. But here, Levack and Goz, I'll tell you what you want to know.
Why was he on the street?
That's what I said to Coach Manas, and like, you honestly need to go watch it because his face is interesting, because I don't know the answer. Like, I assumed he was playing. Like, I just assumed we hadn't run into him yet. Maybe he's in San Antonio, whatever. There's a reason behind it. I have no idea what it is. Coach's face, like he gives me this look like it's like a smirk almost, like, hey, there's a story, but it's not a story for public consumption at this time, whatever. But like, I really, really think that Ross was in a position where he did not have to play if he didn't want to. And when he heard from his former teammates, all of his friends, and it's like, hey, the Albany Empire locker room is real. We're having a blast. We're having a good time. Get your popcorn ready, pack your bag, and get your ass to the Cap region. He did it because that's what it felt like. Like that's not a quote or anything, obviously, but like there was definitely like a look to Coach's face there where it was kind of like, you know. So you can go look at it and see if you can, you know, figure that out for yourself too. But
all right,
it was cool.
I will do some digging. I just assumed he was like on the USFL. Some people call it like a 10-man roster or 12-man
right.
like backup roster, but they don't. I just remembered they don't have that. Like some leagues will have a backup team that if injuries happen, they get. I just assumed he was like in some type of like, hey, we're gonna call you and we need you. And he probably did. It's like, I want to go play football. Let's go do this now. Yeah.
Well, it's like, you know, here's the opportunity I've been waiting for. You know, kind of thing is what it looks like, what it feels like. So what it be like. But no, yeah. So Ross coming in, Marvin Ross, and one of the absolute best defenders in the secondary in all of arena football. And, you know, it's one of those things like as the team president of the Albany Empire, you know this, I know this. I don't sign the players. Like I don't have anything to do with that. There's so many other things that I have to focus on. And I've got a head coach / general manager who does an amazing job. Why would I ever dip my toe in that pool? You know, like it's just be silly. But when you lose a game like we lost this week, and then coach comes in and starts high-fiving everybody yesterday afternoon. And I'm like, what the hell? Last time we lost, you were miserable for like a week and a half. It's like you get this news and you're like, oh, I feel like we got to add a W. Just add a W because this is a win. It's not like, you don't win a game, but you feel like you're now. I feel like we are the most talented team. And it sucks that we lost to Carolina twice. Carolina's an amazing roster, very well coached. It sucks that you lost to them. But I was just like, I feel like we have the most talented roster, and we just became an even more talented roster.
I've got some questions about the Carolina game. I want to get to those. There's a big story involving San Antonio as well. I want to get to those, but first I want to give love to our guy, Jared Lozier. Northeastern Insurance, 518-956-3753. I want Jared Lozier behind the bench the next game, Levack. Can we get some tequila in Jared's system? He just screams at our guy Kyle's doing it. I want Jared Lozier to join that group of fans for the Empire because he's a madman in the best way possible. He's going to defend you. He's loyal, and he's going to save money for you. If you're shopping for those rates, that small business insurance, the home, the car, prices are changing. Some of you want to hit that big, expensive vacation this summer.
What was that noise? What was that noise you just made? You're like a samurai. You're like, some of you want to.
I went Johnny Drama. Auga, auga. Do that to Jared Lozier. Find him and just start going, auga, money, auga.
Ask him what hair care products he uses.
3753. Email him. Whatever that noise is, you think you can spell it. At JAREDL@nemail.com. Be like, Goz is making noises at the podcast. Let me translate that. Please give me money. Or just send can you send like an audio message via email? Just send those noises to Jared Lozier and say, save me money. That's Johnny Drama, Goz, Mike Francesa, and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get the Jealousy. Jealousy, because the ears is all he has on his head. There's no hair. Oh, sorry.
Jared has the confidence that I think he thinks he could take on Schwarzenegger right now.
He couldn't take on a randomly swinging golf club, so I don't believe that one bit. I think he's in trouble if he's. I don't.
It's been too long.
I hit him right in the balls. My aim is solid.
All right, so let's talk about this Empire game. We joked around on Saturday about how the YouTube critics were going to be all over us because it was the standalone game, the home broadcast. I think we gave them reason to be because of. To me,
did you guys get shelled?
Oh yeah, we're getting killed. Way worse than any other game because of what happened for the reviews. If you missed the game, go back and watch on YouTube. Levack, there were 5 plays that were reviewed. 5 significant plays, safeties, touchdowns, fumbles. Like the biggest plays of the game were all reviewed. Whether they should or should not have, we could break them all down if we want. But 0 for 5 in favor of the Empire. The 5 biggest plays of the game after review, all exactly right, all against the Empire. In favor of Carolina. To me, that's the summary of the game. Those 5 calls and that extra point that may or may not have gone in seem to be the difference in the game. And by the way, these are not easy calls. Like the officials who had to I got a TV screen in front of me and I'm like, oh man, this is close. Nothing with the crew either. The replays were as good as they could be. They were so close to those calls.
The only one that I 100% think they missed is, and this is when I say they missed, it's more of a, coach challenged it. They said the way he interpreted the rule was wrong. I thought most of the calls you could make an argument either way. I really did. Like and if you listen to the coach's show just a little while ago, you heard Coach and I both say, like, you can't hope the refs are going to win the game for you. You have to do what it takes to win the game. The first safety, I thought the first safety, the tackle began obviously outside of the end zone. And if the tackle begins outside of the end zone, that's not a safety. That goes on the 1. But again, they saw it differently. They reviewed it. They told Coach Manas that there's degrees of down somehow where they felt as though maybe there was a recovery of your balance and then the tackle starts over. These are things I'm unaware of. But again, I think the Empire beat the Empire more than the referees beat anyone. I think Carolina is a great team and you can't make mistakes against them. I really do. So there were mistakes made by the Empire. The second safety, the one that ends the game from Sam Casanova, I guarantee that's a play he would want back a million gajillion times. The fact that Mark Orozco was out there kicking hurt and, is going to miss some time now. That those kind of things, you can't go into a game against Carolina right now and not be firing on all 8 cylinders. You just can't. So I'm not going to sit here and blame the refs all the way. I definitely argue some of their calls, but I also kind of see where most of them came from. The only one I would still argue would be that first safety.
Orozco timetable, a game probable again.
It's hard to say. He has a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning.
Okay.
The bottom line is he's hurt, and even though he's in a position where it's more of a pain management, as far as I understand it this time, again, I'm not a doctor. I just play one in dark rooms with girls who are willing. It seems to me like the pain is intolerable at this point. So we'll see. The kid's a monster. The fact that he went through and kicked the whole game, and you saw it, he was dialed in early, and it got progressively worse as it went on. I think because he was in more and more pain, is what I think. I have not really had a chance to sit down with Mark, but again, he's going to go to the doctor tomorrow. I'd say we're looking at a couple weeks. We're definitely signing. We're bringing another kicker for San Antonio and probably Carolina, and then we'll see where we are at that point. I would think. Again, it's not written in stone, but I would say at least 2 weeks, at least.
I would love to see Carolina versus Albany one more time because those teams are so evenly matched. As of right now, they feel like the top 2 teams. I know they play later on in the season in Carolina. Hopefully, it'll be the NAL championship. That's 2 more times.
We play in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we go to San Antonio, then we go to Carolina.
Those guys are awesome. The one thing that Carolina does well against Albany, and this might be their style. We said this on the broadcast. I call it the Cobra Crawl, the slither. You can't really call it 3 yards in a cloud of dust because they're not running the football because they're just throwing like split screens. But in that first half, Albany ran 13 total plays on offense. I don't think it's hard for people to wrap their head around what that stat is because in a college football game, if you've got a high scoring college football game with stopped clocks after first down, you can get 100 plays in. The fact of that's how Carolina set their offense, that they kept Albany off the field to only run 13 offensive plays in the first half is I don't know if I've ever seen that before in indoor football, and that was their strategy because it goes back to what you said. Talent versus talent. Albany's got more talent.
Yeah.
So Carolina said, let's just.
They're really close, though. They're really close.
Oh, sure. But Carolina's like, let's limit the possessions. Like, we'll do exactly what we need to do to try to beat Albany. And they were able to do that. You mentioned the calls right there. So, yeah, we'll find out. Albany's got to now get back into it a little bit more. They got to catch Carolina now.
The one thing I think the biggest comment I can give Carolina is Carolina will still play Carolina's game against Albany. Like, you see, like, Listen, I'll be clear. I'll be blunt. I feel like Columbus tried to turn that game into a street fight, which is not what Columbus usually does. You see teams like Jacksonville try to change the way they play. They try to get physical with Prince the entire game, which opens up the rest of the field. Like, I don't know what San Antonio is going to do against us yet. We'll find out. Orlando, like, Cato had a great game down in Orlando, and we were still able to get that W. But Carolina can play Carolina football. The Cobras play football just like they're playing anyone else, and it works. It at least at this point, it has worked twice. So I think the biggest compliment to Coach Rez and the rest of the Cobras is they still play Cobra football and they win against us. And that is not something that I think anybody's ever been able to say. Even though we lost one in Jacksonville last year, that was like Tommy Gray's probably worst game as a member of the Empire, stuff like that. Like, Carolina this year has played Carolina football and they've won. And you can't take that away from them. You just can't. I would love to come up with I'd love to blame the refs. Week one, it was, well, we're still figuring out Iron Man, whatever. Well, that's not an excuse because we know Iron Man. Our coach coached Iron Man. Carolina has the confidence to go out and play with anybody right now, and that's why they're number one in the league. And it's going to be a lot of work on the Empire's side to catch them. Like, they're confident and they're making things happen.
I saw a social media post about another team in the NAL that I'm fascinated, curious by. So San Antonio, there's a change in ownership mid-season. Help me here. What is? I saw the tweet. I'm like, wait a second. What is going on in San Antonio? Tell me what you can.
Well, it's been interesting because I actually developed a friendship with Hector Garcia, the owner who started the season, the majority owner from the beginning of the season. He actually makes our uniforms. Like, one of his side companies makes the uniforms for the Empire. At some point, this John Wayne Heating and Cooling, who was their top sponsor, became the majority owner of the team. So now I've been dealing with other people as we prepare our trip to San Antonio, which is interesting. It's different, but seem to be good people. Seem to be the kind of whatever. But it is weird because, again, I count Hector among my friends. Like, Hector had a lot of weird stuff going on in his home life and everything like that, and we talked on the phone about it. So which is you wouldn't expect from rival teams, but knowing that this league is better the more good teams we have in it, I was all about it. And now it's a whole nother entity. Like all the numbers I used to call to communicate with San Antonio are not the numbers you call anymore. Like, I'm now calling those people for, like, if I do come to San Antonio, if I sneak out, you want to get beer. Like, that's kind of where we're at. So it's a very different, and like, because of that, like, some of the business relationships that the original organization had aren't the business relationships they have anymore. So it's like, you're like, where I would have talked to this hotel, now I'm talking to that hotel, and where we would have talked to this charter company, now I'm talking to that. It's been, and luckily for us, I've got the relationship with Yankee Trails, the official carrier of the Albany Empire. So, like, I'm working with them on a bunch of different stuff, but it's definitely weird. It's weird that it happened this point in the season, but there's the San Antonio team, they're athletic. Like, they're going to run all over the field. You go to the coach's show and hear a coach talk about it, but like, it's different because I'm not talking to the same people. It's almost like when your friends break up, like if God forbid anything ever happened to you and Jordan, like, I'm still going to, like, occasionally talk to Jordan, but it's not going to be about you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those, it's weird. It's a weird thing.
So, two things on San Antonio. One, when you do visit San Antonio, make sure you don't insult the women like Charles Barkley was famous for insulting.
The Riverwalk is just full of fat, ugly women's. That's the Riverwalk. We're going to San Antonio twice.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be a fun trip.
I'm not going this time.
Oh, okay.
I'm staying home this time.
And the Maybe second thing is, for San Antonio, we got to say this again, probably 3 or 4 more times this season so people understand this. It is extremely difficult in year one to be a competitive team in a professional sports league. Like, it does not matter if it is minor league baseball, professional football, it does not matter. If it is year one of any professional sports franchise where your athletes are getting paid and you're competing against adults who are also getting paid, it is difficult. That's it. Like, That's it. So that's what's up with San Antonio. Like, it's really hard. And I'm saying that from the broadcaster side. You get to live at 24/7, 365. Maybe I'm underselling the difficulty of running a professional sports team in year one that San Antonio is dealing with right now.
Well, and like last year, I stepped in to the Empire office in almost like a triage role. Like it was already like Ron Tradico, Nate Starling Jr., John Kane, Mike Quarta, Tom and us. They had already done. The skeleton was there. So when I came in, it was more of a, okay, how do I make things easier for other people? How do I do this? How do I do this? So leading into this year, I was like, all right, I got a full off season. We're going to plan things. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It's going to be great. And I'm still running the crap that I never expected. Imagine jumping in as a full organization, more than a quarter, almost a halfway through the season. So it's going to be interesting, but don't sleep on that team because they will outwork you. If you're not paying attention, they're going to outwork you. There's guys on that team that here in Albany. There's a wide receiver used to wear 11. Mr. Philip Barnett's down there having a good time. He's there's talent down there and there's athletes down there. Don't count a W before that clock goes to zeros when you go to San Antonio, or you will lose.
So let's hope Albany bounces back this weekend. Hopefully it'll be Albany and Carolina or Albany and San Antonio. Who knows who will be in the NAL championship? I'm excited to see it. I do want to ask you about the NBA finals though. I got to get to this.
But first I want to say it's Levack and Goz. You can check us out live right now on the Tech East Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page, as well as Godzilla Media's YouTube. And if you're listening to us later, it's everywhere you can hear a podcast. Make sure you rate, subscribe, and do a little dance, make a little love. Have fun tonight.
And Mohawk Honda Levack, proud sponsors of Levack and Goz. My parents decided they're in town right now for a movie. Both of my parents are shooting another movie here in the capital region.
I thought they were like watching a movie.
No, at Mohawk Honda. They just have their arm around Greg Johnson eating popcorn right now. Just seeing Cam McKenna's like, what are you doing? Mohawk Honda, don't forget, they're searching the lot in the entire Eastern Seaboard just for you. The opportunity to trade in your vehicle, to sell your vehicle. They buy cars. In some cases, you might get back when you sell your car more than you actually originally paid for it. That's how hot it is right now to sell a vehicle, and Mohawk Honda wants to help you sell that vehicle and drive off the lot with a new ride. Wherever you live in upstate New York, whether it is Syracuse, whether it's Utica, Herkimer, shout out to Western Massachusetts. Always giving us some loves on the audio side, man. Western Mass is always giving us love. Drive from Western Mass. That's right. Head over to Western Mass to Glenville, New York, and get yourself a new vehicle. We love the crew there. Shout out to Greg Johnson, Lindsey Harridan, Cam McKenna, Brian McKenna, John Lucas, Kirk, everybody, man. Mohawk Honda, where they always go out of their way to please you.
True story. Mohawk.
Do you like my graphic here about the NBA Finals being too mean? Do you know what I mean by this?
Well, yeah, because it's all of a sudden. The reason I find this hysterical is if you told me going into the finals we were going to criticize a team for being too physical, I'd be like, oh, Boston's punching people in the face. Boston's just doing Boston things. Meanwhile, Golden State's like, have you met Draymond Green? Have you met him? Because he's about to punch you in the face. There's going to be some face punching going on. Like, they look on paper, they're the finesse team, but Golden State finally has like a physical mindset. Like, Draymond Green always brought that. Like, he was the tough guy. Like, he was almost like a hockey goon. Like, oh, you're gonna throw an elbow into Steph or Clay. Okay, well, Draymond's gonna like step on you, like whatever. Now it's like it feels like the team for the most part. Like, at any given time, there's three guys on that floor that would rather fight you than shoot a hoop, and it's become the story.
Yeah, every time people would want to talk about the Warriors, especially like old school basketball fans, their go-to argument was they couldn't beat the 90s Bulls. They couldn't beat the bad boy Pistons. And it's like, yes, they could. They could just shoot threes and outscore them. But people started to believe it. See?
It like, depends when you played it, though.
Okay, so like hand checks and...
Right, if you played it now, actually, with the way the refs are calling this series so far, they might lose. But like, if you played that in the 90s with the way they call the games, nobody's beating those teams. Nobody is. Those two teams would beat everybody with the way they were built.
I'm taking Golden State forever. Every matchup, every team ever. Give me the 3 over every single time. So I'm taking Golden State every time.
Well, then let's go back to when there were no 3-pointers. I win.
Let's play 2K right now.
Yeah, right.
We'll just play it right now in a video game.
You got to think about it. Like, so you had the bad boys of Detroit. the Pistons, who, the Jordan rules and everything like that, they took this physical level of basketball to a level that no one should have. And then Chicago figures out how to do it. And the Knicks were the more physical of the two teams, but Chicago was physical enough and had Jordan. This Golden State team, if they can do this for 3 more wins against Boston, you and I might have a different conversation.
All right.
But if Boston comes back and punches them in the mouth and says, "Oh no, you thought you were physical," our fans live on a diet of Dunkin' Donut black coffee, Marb Reds, and Sam Adams seasonal brew. You can kiss our beanbags because we're coming for you. Then I'm going to be like, no, still Chicago.
Draymond's confusing me too, because like 48 hours ago, maybe like 72 hours ago, I was going to come on and tell you, I might have even texted you this when it happened. I'm like, I think I actually kind of like Draymond Green now. And the reason is because he's doing the podcast stuff post game. And it's not just he's like grabbing a mic and talking. He had this maybe he's just kissing up to Colin Cowherd, where he was like, you guys work with me and you coach me up and I really want to get better at this. And there I am as Mr. Podcast Boy, like, look, he respects the media.
He wants to be part of our world.
Look at it. And then all of a sudden I watch him play in the most recent game and Draymond's just like an idiot. Like that's what he's like. If you want to play rec basketball, like you're playing here, you got 5-on-5 going. And there's one guy like, I don't really know who this guy is. And he's just shoving people, throwing elbow. Like just play. Just
no
play
blood,
basketball.
no blood, no foul.
Right. What is Draymond? He's just acting like an idiot on the court. There are clips that are on the internet now of like Draymond just like bullying. Like, dude, just play. Every possession. Joe on Twitter left me a message. He goes, can Draymond not be an idiot for one possession?
No, he can't. Well, think about it though. Like, think about the best Pacers teams, right? The best Pacers teams in recent history, post Reggie Miller. You had Lance Stevenson getting in LeBron's head. Blowing in his ear, doing whatever. Like you kind of those Bulls teams when Dennis Rodman, the Worm, was out there just wreaking havoc. Like there is something to the psychological warfare of what Draymond Green's doing. Don't forget, dude can hoop. Like he can play basketball, but he doesn't need to be the third or fourth scorer for Golden State. He needs to bring something to that court that nobody else does. And what he brings is, listen, I'm going to shove you. I'm going to push you. I'm going to trip you. I'm going to do whatever I got to do. You're not going to be in your game. Yes, I am. Okay, well, then why are you still thinking about me instead of playing defense? Like that's what Golden State needs in this series to beat Boston. Boston is the more physical team. Boston is and if you can get them to think for a second that they're not the top 5 most physical players on the court at any given time, you might beat them. And I think that's what, as much as Golden State can shoot the, lights out of a gym, they need somebody who makes Boston think twice about whether or not they want to like get physical with Clay or Steph or whoever else.
Golden State's got dudes who are pulling up from half court like Curry and Poole, or just like ridiculous shots. In Boston, all right, they're balanced. They got Horford, they got Smart, they got Brown. Jason Tatum. I thought we were done with the Jason Tatum social media hate with like him and Kobe. So no, it's back. So like first there was a text that like he just texted Kobe, and now there's like he was wearing a practice jersey getting ready for the game. They're like, did you see Jason Tatum wore the same shirt that Kobe wore in his Celtic workout? People are like, it's a Celtic shirt, you psychos. Like, just let the guy. And then now, like, his profile pic on Instagram is the picture of Kobe, like, with the basketball behind his head, like, with his arms behind it. And Tatum's exactly like, they're like, man, enough with the Kobe stuff, Tatum. And they're like, it's been his picture for 2 years.
Right.
It's like, just people just want to find something to rip apart all these guys in the finals.
Well, not to mention, like obviously the guy's his hero. You know what I mean? Like that's. There's something about a guy who's had the success Tatum's had where he's still paying homage to another guy. Like, it is a little weird to me. I'd prefer that he just was Tatum. Like, that's just, whatever. But I also hate everybody who wears green in the NBA. Like, it's just a thing, whatever. even the Mavs when they go throwback, because how much I hate the Celtics. But, like, if he's going to pay that kind of respect to Kobe, who cares? Like, let him do it. Like, haters gonna hate, man. That's all there is to it.
That's it. The internet just needs to relax a little bit. By the way, the results of your poll, I believe it was 59% of people said no to you hedging your bet. So The bravery was on your side. The people who voted said they were going to want to ride with you.
The first time you brought up hedging, it would have cost me $200 to bet Golden State, but they hadn't advanced yet. And if I had bet the 200 on Golden State, they didn't advance, and the Celtics lost the finals, I would have been pissed. So I didn't do it. Like afterwards, it would have cost me like $300 to win the same amount of money. So it's like it's not worth it. So I'm just all in. It was, and you got to remember too, this was a $17 drunken bet because there's no way I would because I don't remember making the bet. I don't remember it. I know I made it. I woke up the next day and I was like, it's one of those like you're just rubbing your eyes. You're like, what the hell happened? Why are there like empty beer cans all over the yard and whatever? And it's like, why is my phone opening to DraftKings? And then you open it and you're like, oh shit. Okay. I made some wagers last night. And I won a lot of like weird bets, but like I must have had $17 left. And for whatever reason, I was like, Celtics should win this. They could, whatever. And it was cold out. It was like, I think it was like February. It was a problem. And here we are. So $17 could win me like $440, $450. There's no need to hedge. There's no need.
Young males out there, has drunk wagering surpassed drunk texting is what could get you most in trouble on a Sunday morning.
Still drunk
okay.
texting.
Drunk texting. Okay.
Well, because the beauty is you got it. Like I've seen people not be able to put numbers into their phone. So there's a point where you can't add your bank account anymore. And you just, okay, I'll just try this, whatever. But the wrong girl stays over a little too long. All of a sudden, 9 months later, it's way more expensive than any bet I've ever made. Way more.
There you go. I thought Rex was going to say it right on cue there.
Rex is like, yeah, in the house.
Perfect comedic timing right there. I want to give love. I feel like there's no better time ever to talk about Lily and David Fine Jewelers, located at the Shops of Wilton off of Route 50. If you're looking this wedding season to add something great to your wife's collection, we're talking about the jewelry, the hookup, the style, the fashion. Lily and David Fine Jewelers can help you find what she's looking for. Maybe you're celebrating an anniversary this summer like I am. You want to make sure you get something nice for her. Lily and David Fine Jewelers can help you do it. I know from experience, there's the flash right there, the wedding band, the engagement ring, all bought at Lily and David Fine Jewelers. Shout out to Alyssa and David for helping me, for helping everybody across the 518, the capital region, and more, finding those great gifts for her. Now, some of you, the pressure's coming this summer. You're going to go to a wedding. Oh, this is your girlfriend. It's not your fiance. It's not your wife. You don't want to hear that. Lily and David Fine Jewelers can make that happen for you. Buy that right engagement ring. They will give you the advice.
What's worse than the scenario you just proposed about proposing? Is proposing with the wrong ring. And then she's not your fiance.
Don't blow it. You could do that. If you Lily and David Fine Jewelers won't let that happen.
You won't.
Route 50, the Shops of Wilton. Lily and David Fine Jewelers. Say what's up to Alyssa. Say hi to David. Say hi to the wonderful selection of jewelry you can find, and make sure it fits your budget. They can help you do that. Coming up this summer, it's Lily and David Fine Jewelers. Check them out on social media, by the way. Check out their Facebook page. They're doing an awesome job with that. They give the shout outs of what's going on and everything else. Lily and David Fine Jewelers. Tell me you heard about the story from right here on Levack and Goz.
I just had like a vision of my future where like at some point I finally meet somebody that I don't hate, and I have to walk into Lily and David and go to Alyssa and go, I need a ring. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like as the biggest marriage hater, hate. Like if I ever found someone that I was willing to sacrifice my hate for, I'd go right to Lily and David and I'd get them. I'd be like, here's a ring. Alyssa said it's good. Just put the stupid thing on your finger and sign this prenup. Please. I
imagine you walking back into Lily and David Fine Jewelers is like the Undertaker, like a slow walk.
My smoke, God, that's Levack's music.
Methodically walking. Yeah.
She's dragging the girl's dragging me in. Like, give me my damn ring. I put up with your shit long enough. I'd be like, all right.
The hat off, but it's a backwards hat.
I'd be like, Alyssa, help. I want to watch. I want a couple different things, and then apparently this woman should get a ring for putting up with me or something.
Levack, half the Stanley Cup set. The Avalanche are in. The Rangers are 2 victories away. A New York team playing for a championship.
The Avalanche are freaking scary, dude. Like they're the most they're the most complete team out there, right? I mean,
I watched that game yesterday, so I don't know if I've told you this before, but my sister-in-law and soon to be my brother-in-law, they're engaged. I don't know if he went to Lily and David. He better have.
Well,
Still got a chance. Wedding bands. They are huge
Colorado.
Colorado.
We can get rid of him if he didn't. He's showing bad decisions.
They both lived in Colorado. They lived in Denver. So like one of their things was to go to Avalanche games together. So like they're like legit Avalanche fans.
The day Levack gets married is the day I stop betting sports and horse racing. Brian Katie. You know what? Screw you, Brian Katie. I'm gonna go find a wife. Just to wreck your day. Just to wreck your day. I'm gonna go. Who wants a little slice of Levack now? Just because I'm back on the market, ladies, for real zeal.
I'm really in like the superhero mode right now. Now I can imagine like Brian Katie has like the ticket in his hand. It's Thanos and just like slowly evaporates when the moment you get engaged, Levack, right? Brian Katie's like, no, I need to wager again. I must. The Avalanche, by the way, they're down 4-2 last night. 4-2 on the road in Edmonton.
Yeah.
They come all the way back. Edmonton scores with like less than 3 minutes to go to make it 5-5. So you're like, okay, Canadian crowd. By the way, sick arena Edmonton, Scott. They got like the leather chairs. Like you're watching on somebody's couch out there in Edmonton. They got the best player in McDavid. Doesn't matter. Avalanche put one in 90 seconds in overtime.
They're the most complete team left. They're the most complete team left. They are ready to go. Rangers got to finish their business, and then I can start really sweating over that.
I like the hockey tradition of the conference championship trophy that some players refuse to touch. That's awesome, man. I know it's been around forever, but like last night when the game finishes, I'm like, who's going to touch it? Somebody going to touch it? Who's going to touch it? And then like the broadcaster, like this guy touched it. This guy didn't touch it. I don't know if you saw the rules analyst that one of the fifth goal went in and the guy's like, holy shit, that's close. And he's like, oh, sorry. Swore right in the middle of the broadcast. It's great, man. So back to the Rangers. 2 wins away. They can do it. Lex, since you and I have been hosting together, my memory serves correct. If the Rangers get to the Stanley Cup, this would be the first New York team to play for a championship since you and I have hosted together. I know you had, I believe you and Armin were together for the New York Super Bowl. He might have just covered that on his own. I know the Yankees got to some ALCSs.
Yeah.
This would be the first New York team to play for a title.
This is your fault. Okay. All right.
Union won national championship. I'm not hating on Union. Union got the national title.
The Union national championship was still Armin and I, because Armin and I were there, and I started the "We're not that drunk" chant on campus. Armin is he's the lucky rabbit's foot. Think about this. So he got here, Union wins. He goes to Denver, the Broncos win. He goes to Houston. Well, Houston still sucks, but the Astros won and they cheated, but it's still where he goes, teams win. I'm trying to get him to move back to New York real quick, even if he just stays here. Like if the Yankees make the World Series, I will abduct his ass and bring him up here, and he will do the podcast from duct taped to a chair and
just win, Yankees, please. I want to see my kids.
Right.
Did you hear the story of what's going to happen if this is a Game 7? Have you heard these reports yet about the Game 7 in the Garden?
No. Please, I'm sorry. I'm negotiating something real quick.
All right.
I might be breaking news shortly.
Ooh. All right. So if some hockey fans may know this, that if Game 7 happens here between the Rangers and the Lightning, the Game 7 would be played on June 14th at Madison Square Garden. Rangers have home ice. That's great. Game 7, everything you want. However, also booked on Madison Square Garden's June 14th night is a Justin Bieber concert.
What?
Yeah. So Madison Square Garden clearly thought the Rangers either would not get that far in the playoffs or they would not have home ice. So a Bieber concert has been booked. The Rangers get it over Bieber, right? They have to.
You want to know something? So I don't know. I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but a lot of times you got to buy that date back. So yes, the Rangers would get it, but they would probably have to pay a hefty fee to get it. Let's just say, for example, there's a arena football game, right? It's supposed to happen on a Saturday. For some reason, it ends up happening on a Sunday. And a rock concert that's coming up later that week. This is all just complete hyperbole. This has nothing. It's not reality.
Right?
Hypothetical, completely. A a rock concert's coming later in the week, and they had already said we'd like to hold on to that to the arena because we're using it for stuff leading up to our show. And then you would have to pay a fee, like I don't know, like $10,000 to get that day back if you needed it.
Hold on, who is they? This would be the Rock Band would do this?
So the Rangers would most likely have to pay some fee to get that date away from Bieber to make up for him having to change where he's going to play and what he's going to do.
Ooh, I know the most recent one I can think of with a concert and a confliction was, I think it was the Nuggets and the Lakers bumped Raw, and McMahon banned Denver. He said he'd never work with Stan Kroenke again, and they did like a tag team match. It was like the Nuggets versus the Lakers, and the Nuggets were like the heels, and the Lakers were the good guys because they moved it to LA. That's interesting though, because if they've got to move it for Bieber will be more than happy to move it for 10 G's. Hell, you can hate on Bieber if you want. Bieber might be like, nah, I'm Bieber. Like, I need 20 G's. I need 30 G's. This is Madison Square Garden,
it's whatever
man.
it costs to move the date, right? Because you're going to have a certain number of tickets that are going to like not be honored. You're going to have this. Your staff's going to be moving around. There's going to be things like that. There's going to be fees involved, and you have to cover it because you're the one making the move. Like Madison Square Garden is going to have to eat some of that money too. So they're going to want money. Like you've got to pay. It's an inconvenience fee if you want.
Also, I just noticed something. I know you talked about negotiating something. Every time you text, my phone is going off. Am I in this group text you're negotiating with?
You actually are in this one.
What the hell?
Because I was using you to shame.
Go off. Okay.
I was using you to shame this person.
I heard my phone going off. I'm like, wait a second. Is Levack just texting the same person that I'm in the group chat with? Because I'm like, all right, if my phone's going off and it's a Levack, I should check like maybe my audio is off or no. It's just okay. We're involved.
Do you want to know what it is? I'll tell you what it is.
Well, last time we got in trouble for doing this, I think with him, right?
I'm not. No, we're not
for saying
trouble.
Certain things on the air we weren't supposed to.
No, he was being a bit of a bitch, but he's not anymore. Do you want to know? I'll tell you.
To you. I'm not going to look at my phone.
I told him Rangers, I got permission.
Okay. By the way, I think the Rangers will win this series. I know Tampa.
I hope
so.
Defending
champ.
I hope so.
There's something cool about the Rangers, dude. Gritty. It's nasty. Like Tampa's better than them. But
I learned to say Shesturskin. Shesturskin. I learned to say that. So
go get it.
Saturday, 3:00 Eastern time. The Albany Empire traveled to San Antonio to take on the Gunslingers. Everyone looking for a place to watch the game should drag their ass to Hooters on Wolf Road because we're having an official watch party right there. We'll have some Empresses hanging out. I'll be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe I can talk Goz into doing the show right before or something. I don't know what his day looks like. We'll
of course, obviously.
Let's go.
If that's the case, if you've just locked that in, which it sounded like for my phone going off, that's locked in. So we'll probably have to do maybe like a 1 to 2:30 show, something like that. Maybe 1:30 to write the kickoff, something like that.
I gotta go over there early and plug in some Fire Sticks to get the YouTube going. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right, we'll talk about that. That's cool though. Saturday live watch party at Hooters. Love it.
Yes, we're gonna watch. We're gonna celebrate. Hooters makes us happy, and so will a win over San Antonio, hopefully. So that's what we're going for right there. I'm excited.
Lock it in. I like it. All right, so it's official. Watch party this Saturday. A little later show.
He was going to do all of them, but he was being kind of weenie about it. So now he's back. Now he's man again.
All right. So we got something.
It was funny. All of a sudden, when Boston started sucking, he turned into a bit of a. He started doing this. Now he's doing this.
We've got a new home for the watch parties for the away games. And Levack, we've got a new sponsor here on Levack and Goz, a new partner joining the show here this summer. How about our friends over at SeatGeek? SeatGeek,
Ooh.
If you are buying tickets to a concert this summer, whether it's at SPAC, maybe it's back in Syracuse at the newly christened dome they got out there, MVP Arena, whatever it might be, use SeatGeek.com to buy your tickets this summer because any purchase over $50, if you use the promo code GOZ, G-O-Z, $20 off your purchase. That's right. Using the promo code GOZ, G-O-Z, for any purchase at SeatGeek.com this summer, you're getting hooked up with that promo code. It starts today. It is live. It is active. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's football games, baseball games, you're going to Yankee Stadium, you're going to MetLife, whatever you want to go to this upcoming spring, summer. I think it's into the fall too. You know what? I said summer. Now it's in the fall. I just made that happen right now.
It's happening.
Promo code GOZ, G-O-Z. If you're heading to SPAC for an awesome concert, whatever it might be, check out the available tickets at SeatGeek.com. Any ticket purchase over $50, you get $20 off. That simple. G-O-Z. SeatGeek.com.
Brian Katie wants to know if we covered the Mets 2015 World Series appearance. We did.
Yes. We were working together. I was not Levack's co-host at that point. I started with Levack in September of 2016.
Who was Mike? Was that still? That wasn't still Armin, was it?
It was Wolf.
It was Wolf. It was Wolf. The one thing.
No. I'm sorry.
Was it
you
Brady?
were Armin. No. April.
Remember, it was Armin. Then there was like a small window of Brady Farkas. Then it was Wolf. Then it was you.
September 2016 is when you and I started. Armin left in December of 2015, so it was you and Armin.
I don't remember when he left. I just know I felt betrayed. But hey, somebody had to start Life Church in Denver, so there you go.
Do you feel betrayed by Ryan Fitzpatrick retiring before he was ever an Oakland or Vegas Raider? He played for everybody else and just didn't play for the Raiders.
He never played for the Raiders. You're right. He never played for the. Are we the only ones?
Is that it?
I feel like we're the only ones. No, I'm glad it's over.
Are upset.
I'm glad it's over.
Glad it's over.
Yeah, I mean, like, what else was he gonna do? You know what I mean? There's something to be said for somebody knowing what time it is to walk away from the party. You know, like what was he? He wasn't gonna get any better. He did some amazing things. He did some magical things, some Fitz magical things. But it was time. It was time. Time to leave the party. Turn out the lights. Fitz magic's over.
All right.
Time to go.
So I got a graphic up here. I'm going to hold off on what this says. The visual audience is a little heads up on this, but
on Techie's Fire and Water Restoration's Facebook, as well as Godzilla Media's YouTube.
Is Ryan Fitzpatrick, is this the best way to label him, the best backup quarterback in your lifetime?
Ooh. See, you got to remember, I'm a little older than you. I remember DeBerg. There was something about like
Hostetler won a Super Bowl, right? Instead of Sims.
Yeah, that was. But I like Fitz more than I like Hostetler, because like Hostetler ruined the Raiders for a little while, and they let him.
Foles, another guy was a backup who won a Super Bowl.
But the thing about Fitz, though, like Fitz was always that guy that you were like, crap, is he better than my starter? There wasn't a lot of like these other guys we're talking about. Like I would take the only guy I would take over Fitz. We got Jonathan Legal. He's like Nick Foles. Nick Foles is, but the thing is, like everywhere Fitzmagic went, Fitzmagic was in competition to start. Everywhere he went, he was in competition to start. At some point during the season, he was in competition to start. Rich Gannon is the only other guy I think was better, because Rich Gannon was a journeyman by the time that he found John Gruden and John Gruden found him, and he got MVP. Like he should have won a Super Bowl. So Rich Gannon is the only guy I would put above Fitz. Yeah,
and I get like the label that it just dropped, like so hard to classify, because the guys like Brady and Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott.
The show's now officially started. Hi guys, Corey's here.
Those guys I listed off there were supposed to be the backups, or were the backups, and life changed. Like as you just laid out there, like Ryan Fitzpatrick would get signed by teams and was like, no, like you're just really good if somebody gets hurt, and then constantly guys get hurt, and he would play so well. What's the cycle, right? Like Fitzpatrick signed his backup, plays really well when starter gets hurt,
outplays the starter, takes over,
gets paid an unbelievable amount of money, stinks,
falls right on his
traded,
freaking face. Yep.
And
then goes and does it all over again. Does it all over again. That's who he was. That's who he is. No, he's, and as a Raiders fan, the one time I saw the Raiders play in Buffalo, he played like dog crap in the first half, and then he came out in the second half and just annihilated us. Like, so he is. You always got to wonder, like a guy who's that good, but isn't that good, is it him? Because like, is it like, you think about the Jets, like when he went away from the Jets for a hot second, and then he comes back and he's like fat, he's got the beard and everything. It's like, wait, how serious? Like if he ever had the diet or the drive of a Brady, how much better is Fitzpatrick? Like how much better?
Incredible. He's probably a top 12 to 15 quarterback in the league. He's that good. If he had that type of drive, energy, whatever you want to call it. And look, he's a Harvard guy. He's an Ivy League guy. We've covered all that stuff before. Like he's got
mentally bored by the game of football.
Yeah. The thing with Fitzpatrick too, when you think about like his legacy, his career, when you break down all the teams he played for, it is remarkable to think that he would constantly be so exciting. Like that nickname, Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
Take the speed out of it. Speed, great athleticism. Like Odell's obviously exciting. Deshaun Jackson. Like there are guys who like Saquon Barkley. There's like, holy, like, how did he make that play?
Right.
Fitzmagic was one of the most exciting players in the NFL. Not because of speed or athleticism or like any time. It's how did he make that throw? How did he do that? Like that was a truly exciting quarterback of the last 15 years. Every time he hit the field, didn't matter what team he's playing for. Like, I got to see what he's about to do next.
Somehow he always overachieved until he underachieved. Like he would lower the bar so much that when he jumped over it by a mile, you're like, holy crap, he's really, really good. And it's like, oh shit, he sucks again. Like that's who he was. That's who he was. Nick Foles is a good argument. Gannon's a good argument. Hostetler's in the conversation. But yeah, there was no better journeyman in the history of football, in my opinion, than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
All right, so who would you rather have? New York Giant fan, 2022 season. Just this season, not for history, not in their prime. You trot out a starting quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick or Daniel Jones? Who would you rather have this season and why?
Daniel Jones.
Oh, okay.
Well, because again, I know what Fitzpatrick is. And I know that he knows he's too old and doesn't want to play anymore. Fitzpatrick doesn't have anything left to prove in his mind. That's what I always wondered. Like when he would come in on these like show me deals, these 1 year backups, whatever. It was almost like, oh, you think I'm not good enough to start? Well, F you, I'm going to take this team. And then once he had it, he'd be like, all right, cool, I did it, whatever. Daniel Jones, everything is on the table right now. Like any chance he has of being a legit NFL quarterback is resting on this season. It's resting on right now. He needs this more than the Giants do. He needs this more than anyone else does. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with desperation. I'm going to go with the guy.
Now, the reason I wrote Danny Dimes instead of Daniel Jones is Daniel's one of those words that I constantly misspell. It's like Daniel and
Danny
Brian.
Dimes is his nickname too. And you were tortured with that nickname on the bus to the Bronx when he beat your Buccaneers.
That's right. Some reason like I's and A's and E's, like the name Brian, I will constantly spell as brain. Like I couldn't tell you how many times I've wrote brain somebody. So that's why it's Danny Dimes on there. Yeah, I get your point. Like the future is Daniel.
Our wounded friend Instacam. What's up, guys?
Oh, Cam, there he is.
He's in a little walking boot. He's in a little walking boot.
All right. I hope he feels okay.
I would take Daniel Jones. You wouldn't? You wouldn't take him?
I would say that Ryan Fitzpatrick is like, if this was Madden, overall rating, Fitzpatrick in the game would be better than Daniel Jones because he's proven more. He's done more.
Nope.
However,
physical skills, physical ability. Danny Dimes can run.
His whole career is on the line this season as a starter.
Yeah,
so there's something to the Jones thing where it's like, okay, you've had more than the opportunities you probably thought you were getting. Like Dave Gettleman loved you. You got a chance to throw. That you've had Saquon Barkley. Like they let you get every chance, and they gave you excuses like, "Hey, we're gonna suck this year. Just sling it out there, kid. Go run around and make plays. Just don't get tripped by the 10-yard line. You'll be fine." This is it.
Oh
like God. If he's not good this season, he's going to the bench for probably a while. So Ryan Fitzpatrick is better, but what's the difference? Like, okay, if Fitzpatrick was the quarterback and not Jones, do I think the Giants are a playoff team? No. Do I think they get to like 6 wins instead of 4? No. As of right now in 2022, I would take Fitzpatrick just because I've seen more productive plays out of him. But the quarterback position is far from the biggest concern for the Giants. They got a lot of other things to worry about. Russell Wilson could be
Tell
out
the
there.
Truth. Tell the truth. You hate Daniel Jones for 2 reasons. You hate Daniel Jones, and now Davis Webb, who is another guy you've hated, has said he's the smartest quarterback or whatever, all this other crap. So you're doubling down on your hate, right?
Are you trying to say that the failures of Jones and Webb will make me look smarter? Yes, I would agree with that statement.
Do you know that Benny Wednesday in my office now is
boy.
He's working with the Patroons. So I was like, do me a favor. I go,
whoa, he left you guys?
No, he does like both.
Oh,
when he leaves us in the afternoon, he goes over there. I was like, do me a favor, find Will Brown and just say, hey, Levack was right about Baker Mayfield, and then walk away. He starts dying. He's like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, was.
Baker might actually play this year. The Watson stuff's getting worse every day. Unfortunately, another woman, we're up to 24, came out again with another story. Kaylin Kaler, who we like, does a great job. She's been on the show before. She found another report. I'm like, No, Baker might play like 12 games this year. That's the reason he didn't get dealt. They think Watson's going to get a huge suspension. So, although that does not disprove your point you had with Coach Brown.
No, he was, and the worst part is like I had to admit I was wrong in year one, and now it's just become more and more obvious I was right. So now it's like I'm finding new ways to remind him I was right. I love Will Brown; he's one of my guys, but I love being right against Will Brown more than I love Will Brown. More like kind of the way you feel about Daniel Jones and Davis Webb. Like I just want Will Brown to be wrong when he goes against me. That's all. That's all I want.
That's it. Okay.
That's all I want. So Levack and Goz, of course, you can check us out on the Techies Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page, as well as the Godzilla Media YouTube. And then everywhere you get your podcast audio-wise, we're there. Was it Apple, Spotify, Peaches, Pumpkin, Holler Eye? It's you ever do that when you're playing hide and go seek? Apples, Peaches,
No.
Pumpkin Pie, whoever's not ready, Holler Eye? No?
No.
Okay, that was what you used to have to say. It's an old person thing. Just okay. There it is. Now I feel. Now I'm sad. Now I'm sad. Now I'm sad. Now I'm sad. No, leave it. Leave it. Let me sit in my shame.
Okay.
You can also hear our podcast in my shame. Okay, there you go. Thanks.
Sounds different there.
Yeah, it does, right?
Oh, we got breaking news, Levack. Joe Madden, Mr. Baseball, this big fat genius. Ooh, I know everything. Fired.
Big fat genius.
Fired. What do you make of that? The Angels cannon Joe Madden.
Am I the only one who felt like Joe Madden doesn't belong on a coast? Like he was on the like Tampa. I get it. Like it doesn't feel like East Coast because it's like Tampa, Florida, and it's a terrible like stadium, terrible. But like LA, like I feel like Joe Madden's middle of the country guy. Like he belongs in Pittsburgh. He belongs in like Philly, not even like just somewhere off the Kansas City. He's the Royals coach of all coaches. That's who he should be. Him being in LA just makes no damn sense whatsoever, even though it's like what, Anaheim, Los Angeles, something.
Right. But
like
Anaheim of California.
Yeah. Like I remember when he first got that gig, they showed him in like this RV, like he was full grandpa. He doesn't belong in LA. Get out of there. Go use your crazy baseball mind somewhere else. I'm a little nervous about the Angels now. Watch them go on a freaking rip. Watch them go on a rip now that they don't have some crazy guy talking about like peyote and shit in the locker room. It's gonna be completely different. Like he needs to go to a team in the middle of nowhere, and that's where he needs to stay.
Colorado, Rockies, just a minor league team we've never heard of. The Las Vegas 51ers. Well, we know where Las Vegas is.
I'm saying Royals all day.
Okay.
The Royals are the like middle of the country Rays. That's who they are.
Minnesota Twins. Get rid of Rocco Baldelli.
Oh, there it is. Get rid of like any
manager of the year. Rocco Baldelli over Boone that year was a sham.
Total sham. But any place that isn't like a major media market, don't go to Chicago. Don't go to New York. Don't you stay away from the coast. Move towards the middle of the country. Just kind of regress inward, and you'll be okay.
We just came up with the topic of Davis Webb and Daniel Jones, two guys who I thought were overrated and have been overhyped and didn't deserve the credit they deserved. And we just transitioned to Joe Madden, who might be far worse than them. I would say of the most overrated coaches of the last, we'll do 20 years on this one. The last 20 years is him and Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers constantly gets opportunities. I get it. Doc Rivers is going to play.
It's not Blake's fault.
Doc has got the opportunity in Philly. He had Embiid. He had Harden. At one point, he kind of maybe was going to have Ben Simmons. Philly underachieved. Boston won one championship with Allen and Garnett and Pierce. He went to Lob City with the Clippers. They never got to a conference finals where it's like, okay, I'm noticing like Doc Rivers is supposed to be the dude to put these guys over the top, and he's not doing it. Joe Madden. You mentioned, look, I insulted and called him a fat, smart, wannabe baseball guy. All I hear about is how smart Joe Madden is. Oh, he's a genius. Who's saying this? Is like Joe Madden telling us that he's the genius because he's bringing peyote into the locker room?
Joe Madden was Kevin Cash before Kevin Cash. Like Joe Madden was so successful in Tampa. I feel like there's a chance that we now undervalue Madden because Cash is really good too.
Ooh, I was going to do the exact opposite. I was going to say he's overrated because of how good Cash is now.
No, but there's a chance that like maybe we look at the front office, the people doing the hiring for Tampa, and go, they know what they know their type, right? Like they know what they're looking for, and they always like you've got a friend in your life who somehow, some way got a girl who was way too good for him. And then they broke up. And you're like, he is screwed. He is never going to find anybody like that again. All of a sudden, he finds one even better. And you're like, what the F? How? That's Tampa. Like, we're not going to spend money. We're not going to have a good stadium. We're not going to do any of the cool things. Like, we're probably the 75th coolest thing in Tampa, and we still win. Like, nobody comes to our games. It's great. Like, we don't care. And they had a Joe Madden, and everybody was like, oh, Joe Madden's like, it's all Joe Madden. And then Joe Madden gets booted because it starts to go downward. And they bring in Kevin Cash. You're like, well, it's a rebuild. Kevin Cash will be lucky to stay. Now Kevin Cash has like made them even better. There's a chance that Tampa just knows how to find these guys. And then you go to a major market that's spending money, and it's just not Joe Madden's gig. It's not what he's good at. He's got to go find these weird baseball players who will do more with less.
The Royals is a great comparison because the Royals, like that year they won in the mid 2000s, they built through the bullpen, and it was a whole different style of baseball. And teams kind of copied them, that post Royals team, of how to do that through the minor leagues. Yeah. I feel like Joe Madden, Terry Francona, and Theo Epstein are all kind of like grouped together, at least for me, because they all kind of are associated with those curse breaking teams of the Red Sox. And then they all went somewhere else and did it again. Now, Francona went to the now Guardians. And I believe like a few months ago, he stepped aside because he was having health problems and things. You know, he was formerly the manager and stepped aside and everything else. He might be back. I believe he's back now, but I know like he's still there. He's the all-time winningest manager for the Guardians, and the Red Sox. I always think of as the Red Sox player, but I bring that up because they broke the curse. So like there's something to be said about the manager who did it.
Yeah, you never pay for a beer in that city again.
Right. Like the statue should be outside. Like people say like, oh, there'll be the statue of that person. They got fired. Like Joe Madden got fired from the Cubs. Francona got fired from the Red Sox. Doug Peterson got fired from the Eagles. Like those are the fan bases that wanted the championship.
Mike McCarthy got fired by Green Bay. Stephen G. Moss. Mike McCarthy is the most overrated coach of all time. You ain't lying. He's up there. He's definitely up there. He is 100% up there. Like he and I, Moss and I don't always get along. That one we agree on. That's definitely like I don't like Mount Rushmore's. That dude's on my Mount Rushmore of how the F did he get that job. That's who he's on there.
And that's a Viking fan, by the way, trashing a Packer coach who's no longer there. Right. He's like, he doesn't want to give his rival the credit. He sucks too.
Right. But I mean, look at what he's doing in Dallas. Like he's drawing up his play sheets in Crayola, and everybody else is like looking at him like, what? Like, if you remember, some of the best bets I have had with Dallas are games that he wasn't there.
That's
like,
right.
Go with Dallas this week. This is the one. Like, yeah, because he's garbage. He's garbage, dude.
The thing with Madden, he wins the championship with Chicago. They almost win in Tampa. And this Angel team, they did everything to finally make this team a winner.
Yeah.
They sign Trout. They get Ohtani. They get a little bit smarter in free agency, not spending a ton of money like they did with the past, with like Pujols and Hamilton that didn't work out as well as they'd hoped. And in the draft, they draft nothing but pitchers, which is still hysterical. Like they drafted like 16 pitchers, and they were good. The fact that it was like a month ago, you and I were talking about like, is this finally the Angels team? They lose 12 in a row. Trout all of a sudden can't hit. Like this was the moment where Madden could have been like, I could legit coach up any roster and make them win. He was supposed to be the savior for the Angels, and I don't know where they go because like baseball truly would be better if we got an ALCS with Yankees versus Angels. Judge versus Trout, Ohtani versus Cole. How amazing that! I want the Angels to be good because it would be so cool for baseball to see the superstars on that big platform.
It's the best thing about Madden not fitting in LA is the trade talks about just everybody in LA. Like all the Angels players are allegedly up for grabs right now. That's the best thing that Madden's done is. Like what if we get Trout for this one? Do it. What if we get this one? Throw in Ohtani. I don't want Ohtani. I don't need the circus freak. You don't want to be a Yankee? You can screw off. You can get his ass kicked every time he plays us. But it is definitely he's just one of those guys. I just never thought he would fit in LA. It's the Chicago thing. I think he was the right message at the right time. But like he is a different dude. Like he's Phil Jackson, not quite as arrogant. Like he's got that vibe. Like and I'm gonna look at you different. I'm gonna talk about kumbaya shit. It's gonna be great. And then if you buy in, it's gonna be phenomenal. The second you don't buy in, it's going to get out of control fast. And it looks like LA the Angels has never bought in, even though they're playing well. Like for a guy like Trout to play as poorly as Trout's playing, it's almost like he has to try.
Yes. I worry about Buster only sometimes when Trout plays poorly. Like, Buster, you watching this over here? Are you still going to vote for him for MVP every year, every single year, even when the Angels stinking or 500?
There's something about hearing Buster. You know, I'm still very good friends with the people who are in our old time slot. I like them. They're good people. There's something about hearing Buster do a weekly appearance that's not our show that makes me angry, irrationally angry. I feel cheated on. I feel weird about it.
Would it be weirder if they did one with Sal Capaccio too?
No, because Sal and I are cool. But he wasn't my dude. He wasn't my dude.
He did a weekly spot with us too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all equally.
Sal was your dude. Sal was your dude. Buster was
my guy. Okay.
Well, no, because like you're the one who set that up originally. Like I didn't set that up. Like I've always liked Sal, but like Sal was your guy. Like he was. You and him were you guys were close. Now Sal did call me after I left and went, "Am I still doing this?" And I was like, "Dude, cash that check, brother. Have some fun."
Yeah, that's why I'm honestly not mad because I like Sal. If he's cashing checks, then God bless him.
No. But there's something
cashing
like
checks.
Buster,
that's right.
Like Buster and I consider Buster a real world friend, and it's good. I'm glad he's doing it. I like the Capital Region deserves to hear Buster, but to hear Buster talk to a Mets and a Red Sox fan just angers the shit out of me. Like I don't understand it. It was I miss him calling you Goz. And shitting all over you for being an Orioles fan. I missed that. That was fun for me. But
we can still talk to him. We had him on last summer.
I'll think about it.
It's weird.
I'll consider.
Would you ask him about trading Miguel Andujar at one point?
Andujar. Is Miguel Andujar like just the new Clint Frazier? like I love watching Andujar
I had
play.
this written down, Levack. I wrote, "Is this just Clint Frazier again?"
Right. The only difference is like Andujar fits in. It's just it never felt like the team respected Andujar as much as they probably should have. It was almost like one of those things where you're like, "Look how great this is! This is amazing. You should buy this. This would be the coolest thing you own." Well, why do you want to sell it? Oh, I don't want to. I'm only selling it to you. Like, no, you're clearly trying to sell this. Like, this is a thing, and it's like, no. Like. It almost feels like they've pushed Andujar forward to sell Andujar. Like I love that dude. He should have been Rookie of the Year when that Circus Freak won. Yeah, it's just it's weird. It feels like he's gonna get popped out.
Brian Katie will enjoy this if he's still watching. He's a big wrestling fan. It's a very similar to like a professional wrestling thing where like Vince McMahon will be like, these are the guys who are going to be our stars. All right. Like Roman Reigns is our star. Seth Rollins is a star. Right. And then like the crowd gets behind somebody
Mr.
else.
McMahon, everybody really, really likes
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Nope. What?
Well, he's doing well. Nope. Yeah. Not in the plan.
Too short. Not going to work.
Miguel Andujar tearing it up. One of the best rookies out there. His stats have not reached what they were as a rookie. That's okay. Like there's some other guys who struggle at the plate. Like he's still around like that 260, 270 mark. He can still do enough. He got hurt in the shoulder injury that set him back a little bit. That happens in baseball. That's it. It was just like, great, you're batting 300. Cool. That's a bonus. I don't know what to do with you. Like that's it. Same thing with like, Frazier was at least a huge prospect. Andujar was like, I guess, I don't know, whatever.
But there was a point where, and they traded for one. They had the other. There was a point where people in the know, Sterling, Kay, and then like Buster and passing and everybody's that Miguel Andujar was the best pure hitter in the Yankees lineup. Like in a lineup with Judge and all these other dudes, the best actual bat, contact, ball in play, make shit happen was Miguel Andujar. And then it was like, he's hurt. F off. Like it was like, wait, shouldn't he get a chance to claw back in the lineup? No. We traded for Gleyber Torres. That's the guy. And it's like I love Gleyber Day. Don't get me wrong, but Gleyber's been way less compared to what you hoped he would be than what Miguel Andujar was compared to what you hoped he would be. And it just didn't matter.
And the awkwardness will be coming up here in the summer is that if the Yankees really want to target an arm in the bullpen, like if they really think they just need another closer, if they just don't trust Chapman anymore, or if somebody just blows up in the National League and they're like, we really need an arm. I don't know if Andujar is going to do it. Yeah. Like he's valued by the Yankees, and it could be the awkward of like, all right, we got to trade somebody else, and then Andujar will take their spot. So hopefully he's not that ticked, even though he did request a trade because he thinks he should be out of here. And it's also weird to have like, I don't know, like let's say 15th. Maybe Andujar is like the 15th best player on the Yankees. To hear like the 15th best player on the team be like, I want out. I'm so used to the superstars demanding trades, and it's like, I want out. I'm Miguel Andujar. Like, you're not, like you're not Jimmy Butler. You're not like one of these guys in the NBA that can pull. I don't think he has that type of say like those guys.
He could generate conversation by doing this, which is what he really needs. It is intriguing when Miguel Andujar says he wants out or uses someone to say he wants out. Meanwhile, Aaron Judge is still fighting arbitration over $4 million, right? I want 21. We'll give you 17. Like, and he's not saying a damn word. Like, if there was a guy who was, north of 30, all those things, who deserve to be paid more than Aaron Judge, I don't know who they are. I just don't know who they are. Like, Yankees screwed themselves. If he completes this season healthy with the numbers he's already acquired, they're paying him $33 million a year. Like, it's going to be like, and that's going to be the jump off point. And he hasn't said a dang thing. Married a crazy woman, hasn't said anything. I don't know if it went to Lily and David, and I hope he did. He would save some money and got a great ring. But like, he's not saying nothing. Here's Andujar, like, dude, can you just trade me, please? It's like, have you seen Judge? Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he ain't said nothing.
I hope Judge hits like an insane amount of home runs, and we get a summer of like the home run chase again. 62, 63, something insane. Like,
really,
it probably won't keep.
If he hits 45, which is an insane number if you really think about it, and he's healthy the entire season, and the Yankees not even win the World Series. Let's say it. Let's say he has a special year. It's 40, 45 home runs. Yankees win the World Series. What's he, $40 million a year? Like, where do you start? Where does it go? Because you don't win without him, and you don't sell nearly as many tickets without him. And he's handled this like a pro, like an absolute pro. Like, he's just, oh, you guys don't want to sign me long term? Okay, I'll just play the best baseball in the world. And I'm not going to complain publicly. I'm not going to do any of these things. I'm going to smile. I'm going to be the poster child for baseball. I'm going to wear you're going to sell 99 jerseys like they're going out of style. And I'm just going to keep playing. And then you're going to pay me $400 million as a 31-year-old. Enjoy yourselves, bitches.
Yeah, there you go. Because, Harper and Machado, the guys who got the $300 million deals, have they had a productive season power-wise that Judge is pacing for in 2022? No. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I know Harper's won an MVP. Machado's been in the mix, but so is Judge when he's been healthy, which right now he is. And yeah, so I've seen the Photoshops, by the way, Met fans. I've seen Judge in the Met uniform, so knock that off for some Yankee fans. I know Steve Cohen is like, oh, only $400 million. All right.
Well, dude, okay. He just paid more than what, 27 Major League Baseball teams paying salary and taxes? I think, am I right? Is that really? If I'm not on, I'm close on that number. But like, and by the way, 69% of all stats are all made up. That guy's changing the game. He's Hal Steinbrenner on steroids. Like he's Hank Steinbrenner, George, all of them. He's the entire Steinbrenner family rolled into one on steroids. He's nuts. I love it.
Cohen just bought the A's in the stadium. You're like, we're just going to stop this. The whole season's over. We're going to pay you guys not to embarrass the league anymore. Just stay home.
That's the best.
Sean Martin's going to like that.
I love this. He's just like, I'll take the A's. I'll take the Royals. I'll take the Orioles. I'll take the. What are you doing? Well, I'll just count these as wins, and I'll just buy their teams. That's fine. That'll be okay. And I want some Boog's barbecue, please. Can we get that over here? That'd be great.
I'll take Uncle Steve as a part owner of the O's. I'll take him.
No, he would buy you just to make you lose to the Mets.
No. Yeah.
That's all he would do. That's all he would do. He don't care. 79% of the money line bets on Game 4 right now are on the Rangers.
Ooh.
79% money line on the Rangers. Just looked up
on the road.
That. Yeah,
it's the road team.
Money line. People trying to cash that ticket. By the way, Levack and Goz, you can check us out live on the Tech East Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page. Your best way back to normal. Fire, flood, whatever it is, we're going to come in, we'll clean your house out, take good care of it. We got you taken care of. And, of course, Gozilla Media YouTube, as well as anywhere you get your podcast. Anywhere you listen to a podcast, like in the bathroom, we're just already there. Like we're actually like we're programmed into toilet seats now. It's amazing. I'm renovating my bathroom in a couple weeks, and I bought all the stuff for it already. And the light fan, like the ceiling, the fan that has the light in it, and all that stuff, Bluetooth speaker built in.
Whoa!
Game changer. It's huge. Game changer.
I love it. The podcast through the speakers. You're taking a nice
God.
dump and you're listening to a podcast.
I've got like the Bluetooth like slash AM FM tuner that I listen to outside when I do the Yankee games. And like I always like leave it downstairs or plug it in or whatever. And then I'm upstairs like, doing a 2 or taking a shower. I'm like, I wish it was up here. And then I bring it up there and I forget it. And I got to go up there to get it when I'm, out smoking a cigar and listening to the Yankees. So now no more of that. Built in. Hello, technology. How you doing?
You ready for Q&A to end the day? Our clocks are a little off today because we started earlier than usual. So I'm ready for some questions. I got one I want to do, Levack, off the Albany Empire Facebook page because it's annoying me. And I know it probably will annoy anybody else involved for your staff. So you guys had the Coaches Show. You go check it out. Download audio side. Watch it on the Albany Empire Facebook page, YouTube, all that good stuff. Dave on Facebook. Can you please post what the announcements were? Thank you.
No, listen to the damn Coaches Show.
Listen to it, Dave. Just click it.
I love Dave. Dave is one of the best fans.
Dave.
Dave is one of the best fans in the world. Dave drives like well over an hour to every home game. He is all in. He is all in. But Dave asks some of the worst questions in the history of fandom. Like, hey, could you post your starting blah, blah, blah? It's like, no, it's like we have to do that a couple hours for the game, not earlier. Hey, who's going to be the offensive specialist? No, you don't get that. That's we do that the last minute because, strategically speaking. Hey, what's the announcement? No, that's why you listen to and or watch the Coaches Show on both the Albany Empire, Facebook, and Twitter. Hey, are you going to do a lot of Empire talk on Levack and Goz? We do just about every time because it's Goz's chance to grill me after years of me giving him shit. Like, it's all like, Dave, you got to stop your crap, okay? All right? Damn it.
We love you, Dave.
Yeah,
we also like
Firebirds Dave. That's what Firebirds DW.
Right. Dave, we like you. There wasn't Levack, didn't you meet another Empire fan in person who likes to be a part of the show this past Saturday?
My God. My favorite part of Saturday. Obviously we lost, so there's not a lot of great Saturday stuff. So we did the pregame, the Goz's pregame show with a small minor appearance by Jeff Levack. And Charlotte von Schiller commented on the thing. And I was like, dude, that's the greatest villain name ever. Like, with that name, you instantly make a code out of Dalmatians, a la Cruella de Vil. Like Harry Potter runs from you. Like that's a villainess his name. And we had fun with it, and we joked around about it, and nothing, whatever. So we're doing the autograph session after the game. And this lovely woman, her husband, her son's probably like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old, walk up to me. And I was like, hey, how are you? And I recognized her instantly because this woman had said really nice things to me at the last home game because you and I had explained the travel issues that Jacksonville had. And she I was in our bench area and I was about to interview Coach at halftime. And she leaned in and she just went like, hey, thank you for explaining that. It's a really good job explaining it. Like, now I understand what happened. And I was like, nobody takes the time to say that to us. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Whatever. So here's that woman. I'm like, oh, great. There's my friend. And she goes, my name's Charlotte von Schiller. And I'm like, oh. And her husband is dying laughing. And her son is dying laughing. And she's got this deadpan straight face. And I'm like, oh shit. And then she starts laughing and I go, it's the perfect villain name. She goes, it really is. And then I point at her son, I go, she's a villain. And he's like, kind of. And her husband's like, it's a great name. And it was awesome. And she's like, and I'm like trying to take a picture I was like, I'm going to take a picture with her to send to you. But I was so caught off guard at the beginning. So I go looking for her. But now I'm like, she said, it's Charlotte Van Schiller. I'm looking up the video and you had taken the video down where all the comments were because it got jacked up. Yeah. And I'm like, crap, I can't send the picture to Goz, whatever. And I ran up to her and I just said hi again. So we're Facebook friends now. I can confidently tell you that she has never made a coat out of Dalmatians. She's a sweet, sweet woman with a great family.
She's
But
not
yeah,
petting the
that was.
cat.
Oh no, yeah, no,
Oh,
no,
she's so sweet.
no, like $1 million. I want a shark with freaking laser beams. None of that. But it was so awesome that we ran into her.
Charlotte,
Oh
I
God.
beg of you, if you're listening, Charlotte, I beg of you for our Saturday watch party for you to be a part of it again.
Yes, please
because
come to Hoots.
you are
Come to Hoots.
cracking us up. You're
Goz will pay
hilarious.
for your food and drinks. He said so.
Whether it's in
He'll do
person
it.
or not in person.
Let me
still
see.
be
So I got a question for you.
Okay.
Just joined Stephen G. Moss. Not sure if you talked about you're taking the Rangers yet. Go Rangers. I think they make it to the finals. I'm scared after that. I'm scared after the finals. I'm a little nervous.
I'm a little nervous about that public money going on so heavy tonight.
Yeah, that doesn't make me
interesting.
feel better. Corey from Greenwich. I heard the Lakers wanted Juwan Howard, Michigan's coach. But Juwan Howard turned it down. Is Michigan basketball a better coaching job right now than the Lakers? For Juwan Howard, yeah, he's a Michigan guy. He's not going to leave there. But also, like, if you win in LA, didn't you win with LeBron's team, even though he's old? Like, I would say if I'm Juwan Howard, I go Michigan. Just about anybody else, I'm going to LA. I heard Joe Madden's going to take the job.
That's pretty amazing that Juwan Howard, if there was any interest, passed, said he didn't want to do it, said no thank you. Now, maybe it's because of LeBron, maybe because coaching LeBron at this age is maybe more difficult than it's ever been because the coach is going to be blamed for whatever happens, even though LeBron is aging like human beings do. Like, you just can't keep the pace. That's right.
What? Fat don't crack, brother.
That LeBron is doing that. But, like, there should be a list in American sports, like 4, maybe 5 jobs. If you are a coach, like, what is the pinnacle of, okay, if this college or pro team ever calls me, this is like the number one.
You're looking at it wrong.
How that works.
You're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it wrong. Okay. You're a football guy more than a basketball guy, right?
Yeah.
So like the all-time football teams, like the Dallas Cowboys, the Raiders, you go on the Rams right now, because the Rams are doing Aaron Donald signing money. Like, the Rams are doing math equations nobody else understands. Like, we're all playing like friggin' checkers. They're playing Chinese checkers, whatever. If you were the head football coach of Syracuse, your program's on the rise, you're making all the money you've ever needed to make. Are you leaving for Dallas? Are you leaving for the Bills? Are you leaving for the Buccaneers, your favorite team?
No.
If you're at Syracuse, your favorite school,
right,
you don't leave. Like Juwan Howard's never going to need money again, ever again. Like, Juwan Howard's grandkids do not need money. They're set. And he gets to coach his alma mater.
Yeah, everybody's dream job is different, right? So, like, some coaches, like you said, like, if you love Michigan, you love, like, Harbaugh's there. Seems to love it. It's getting paid a little bit more now after the Big Ten conference win. Boeheim, Syracuse, Coach K was interviewed years ago. It's like one of the cool rumors. I think younger fans don't remember that Coach K almost left Duke for the Lakers, which is pretty cool with Kobe back then. Yeah, so some people don't want to leave. I totally get it.
But think about this too. Like, there's another piece to this, right? The Fab Five are arguably the most influential, culturally speaking, college basketball team of all time. Like, they are arguably, well, obviously, like the first team to ever have African Americans, whatever. But there was something about the Fab Five, the Black Sox, the 5 African Americans starting together, the whole 9. Like, what they did made me more of a college basketball fan than I ever was in my entire life. And you get to herald that. Like, that's yours to protect. I don't know if $1, $2, $3 million, whatever it is a year, and an NBA chance at a title, I don't know if it's worth it.
I wouldn't do it. I think, I would stay at Michigan. I would make it happen. If coaches want to take those, maybe it's all different now. Like, with the amount of money that's in college sports, 20 years ago, it was like, if it's like Notre Dame called you, if the Cowboys called you, if the Lakers called you, the Yankees, like, that's it. That's the pinnacle. Like, you can't even dream of even being a head coach, let alone that team calling you. Maybe that tradition, that sway, muddy talks, it's a different world. It's not what it was in the late 80s and 90s. Like, colleges can pay. Like Brian Kelly left Notre Dame to go to LSU. Like, people leave big time schools where they pay you more. Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, I could almost see the Brian Kelly thing more than if Juwan Howard left Michigan. Again, like, you were part of something that nobody's ever been a part of. There's never been a Fab Five, and there may never be again. And now you get to do that there. And you can slap coaches from other teams and keep your job. You just get a vacation. That's big. That's big.
He had some heat on him when he was slapping the Wisconsin coach around.
If I get to go slap people in the NAL and nothing, and like all of a sudden I get called from the NFL, I'm like, yeah, all right, well, I'm coming, but it's because there's a lot of money. But
you'll take a pay cut. If I can slap people, I will take a pay cut to do
that. You know, one of my biggest dreams of all time is to handle issues the way they're handled in the WWE. Like just like you and I argue all week, and then Monday night I get to just beat the crap out of you, and it's over. It's all done. I put a chair on your neck. I step on it 2-3 times. You know, you wear a fake brace for a while, but you never say my name again, and we all win. Everybody's happy.
Next Monday.
And now you're on to the next person. Like there's people in this world. You know who you are, and if you don't, look out. I would, if I could just slap them. Oh, it would just be a better world. It's a better world. Open hand. I'm not a monster.
I want to make sure I get to this guy, Donovan, who hit us up on Twitter. Donovan's one of our day ones. We appreciate Donovan, as he calls me, his birthday twin. We love Donovan. He wanted to get your thoughts on Frank Gore's one-day contract for the San Francisco 49ers, if you remember that on Twitter.
Frank Gore's 1,000,000 years old. Everybody knows who he is. What's the team you associate him with, right? Like what's
Niners and Miami Hurricanes? Those are my two.
The U, right? The U, and then the Niners. You didn't need to do a one-day contract. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's a waste. I don't get it. I just don't understand it. Like some of these guys, it's been brought to my attention that some of these guys are asked by the establishment to do it to get popularity to the establishment. But like, if you're the Niners, you want popularity, figure out the Deebo Samuel contract for F's sake. Like, don't do this one-day bullshit. It's just so stupid. I stand by my theory. One game contract. Frank, you want to retire as a Niner? You want to prove it that you're still a Niner? The red and gold runs through your veins? Run the rock, buddy. One time down the middle, take the hit, and then be on your way. Signing a contract in a nice little suit and smiling and waving, don't care. Get in there, take a hit.
I'll compromise. I'll do one practice contract. Let some 22-year-old undrafted kid tee off on Frank.
Then it's punt return. Then it's full speed punt return. Full speed punt return. Then that's the only way. You got to bleed for it, is what I'm saying. Otherwise, just everybody knows you're a Niner. Everybody knows it. There's nobody nobody's sitting there going, yeah, but he also played for this team, and this team. Nobody cares. He's a Niner. Realistically, he's you. He's a you. He's Miami. That's what he is.
Right.
I hate the one-day contract so much.
I hate the rest of these questions, to be honest with you guys. This might be some of the worst questions we got. I want to do one because I know Jonathan.
Rapid fire. Let's go.
Last one I want to do was with Jonathan, because Jonathan, I think, also left you one on Twitter about the Broncos. You had a shot at the Broncos you took today.
I haven't seen his comment yet. So the Broncos are being bought by the dude that owns Walmart. So the Broncos are now nothing more than a Walmart version of an NFL franchise.
It's good.
Which is what you usually say about someone who's like a knockoff. Like he's basically, the Broncos have become the Wish item that you thought you were buying on Amazon. Enjoy it.
Jonathan wrote, don't even start, Levack.
I ain't got to start. All right, it's already done. You're in aisle freaking 9 next to like knockoff freaking balloons and just, if I want to get a Russell Athletic t-shirt, some knockoff balloons, and see people who have never, ever, ever, ever wiped their ass, I'll go to a Broncos game now, just like I would if I was going to Walmart.
That was very specific.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, one website that'll never go away is people of Walmart. It's the best website in the world. When I used to be on the country station in the morning, there was a Walmart story like every day. Like this person gets arrested for making meth in a Walmart bathroom. Oh my God. It was like every day, like person gets arrested for crapping their pants in Walmart. Cops can't catch them because they're slipping in the poo. Like it was every day. It was Walmart, and now the Broncos are that NFL franchise. Enjoy that, Fliggle. Ha ha! Raider Nation.
I will see you Saturday. A little later start on Saturday because we're now doing a watch party. Very cool.
Yes.
I'm excited
Live
to see
at Hoots
on Saturday.
Hooters. I'm going to Hoots tomorrow. I'm going to hang out with our good friend Cindy Martin Realtor. Tomorrow we're going to lunch together because we're going to talk about. So I'm going to let me give you a quick rundown here, right?
Yeah.
So the next home game is June 26th. It's a Sunday. It's a 2:00 kick. It's Sunday Family Fun Day. First 200 through the door are getting a special Albany Empire Rally towel. Also, we're doing group pricing because we would do family pricing, but we already do 12 and under free. So family pricing kind of gets blown up. So group pricing, we're blowing your mind with group pricing. July 16th is going to be the pink game. Empire tackles cancer.
Yeah. Yes.
So I had to go to our friend who's a badass, who's an absolute survivor, Cindy Martin. We're going to plan the game out together. She and I are playing the game. And then I'm going to go back to my office and go, this is the game. Like it or not, I don't give a shit. I'm the president, and my friend Cindy and I planned it. So here we go. This is what the game's going to be. And then the July 23rd is our friends at TransFinder are going to honor teachers, and our friends who are currently representing New York in the Special Olympics games are going to be on hand. Tommy Mooney, our guy, Shock, just grabbed a gold medal in powerlifting.
Hey, Shock, way to go!
And we're going to have these are the 3 regular season home games that are left. So Sunday Family Fun Day on the 26th. Empire tackles cancer July 16th. And then the 23rd, we're honoring teachers and we're honoring the Special Olympics. And we're going to win these games. And we're going to host a playoff game, hopefully the championship again. And this is what we're doing. So, so I'm going to hang out with our girl Cindy tomorrow, and she's going to help me plan this thing.
Let's go, man. That's an exciting way to start off tomorrow. I cannot wait. The week is getting fun. I'm fired up for the week now.
Saturday, viewing party, Hoots.
Let's do it, dude. I already want
Taking
Saturday
on the
to come
gunslingers. The gunslingers. Singers.
I was going to say Friday for guys on the media side of it, I will be at the Turning Stone covering this year's Boxing Hall of Fame event. So I will be there Friday night, and then Saturday I'll be with you. So I'm excited about that.
Ooh. Trying to think.
You think some words of wisdom right now to close out with?
Yeah, I was just thinking, you're talking about boxing. I was like, you know what? I really enjoy watching Alexa Bliss wrestle, but I'd love to see her box.